Welcome to Chatter, the top 5 tech briefings of the day, talking about power struggles at WordPress, Big Bang launches, Halliday's smart glasses, creators selling to AI firms, and OpenAI's robot. So without further ado, let's jump into it. OpenAI builds a robot. OpenAI is recruiting robotics engineers to build robots for real-world applications. And this doesn't come as a surprise if you followed last week's announcements from Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, who said physical AI is the next frontier for AI. So it's not surprising that one of the world's leading AI companies, OpenAI, is now trying to blend together the physical world, robotics, with the software world of large language models. And obviously for them, it makes sense. They're one of the leading LLM providers. But the question is if they're shifting focus, if they're shifting capital over into a new field of business where they don't have a lot of line in sight, where they don't have a lot of experience, will they also succeed? Or should they rather focus just on their home base, on the large language models where they're already winning, where new competitors are entering new models almost daily? So in my opinion, OpenAI has to go that route at some point because, as Jensen Huang said, physical AI is the next frontier. The question is just, what role does OpenAI want to play? Do they actually want to be boots on the ground doing the hardware themselves, or should they rather specialize in the software application of it, making smart robots but using the hardware of another company, which might be easier to get started? Follow all the stories directly in our app with all the commentary and initial quotes. Moving on. Creators are making extra money thanks to AI companies. AI companies are paying $1 to $4 per minute for unpublished content, with premium rates for 4K and 3-day formats. So this comes as AI firms are now racing to get proprietary data, because obviously the more proprietary data you have, so data that only you have access to, the better your models can get. And other competitors who do not have that same amount of data or that same data set will have worse models. So the question here for this is the unused content from these creators really worthwhile? Because at the end of the day, between the two sides, open source and the AI firms, what is going to lose? Either this content is highly valuable, which means it makes models just far superior. That would mean that OpenAI is a clear winner. Buying this content is worthwhile, and since it makes the models much better, and they can produce just far better models in open source. On the other side, if this content is not really improving model accuracy, it's just another cost factor that the AI firms have, and they're already not that profitable. OpenAI is losing money even on their most expensive plans. So the question at some point becomes, is this a sustainable model? But for now, creators seem to benefit. Next up, Halliday's smart glasses project a tiny screen right onto your eyeballs for just slightly under $500. While other smart glasses turn your glasses into screens, Halliday uses a tiny projector built into the glasses to stream visuals straight into your eyeballs. They're planning on shipping these models in March, so only 2 months out. And they have already a couple of features planned, like translation, AI assistants, etc. So it does come with a little bit of smarts. How I would frame it though is that this company is trying a new playbook, whereas other companies, they started with the technology and trying to push all the technology into glasses, and they look kind of ugly. What Hallidays did is they actually started with the design. They said, we want regular glasses that look sleek, and then trying to see how much smart we can fit in there without changing the design. And now with a finished product, which doesn't modify the glasses, so people with prescription glasses can wear it. And by just adding a couple of features, I think if you're already wearing glasses and you can have maybe a couple of more AI features that are sort of helpful at maybe not $500, but maybe $200 or $100, this might be a very competitive and very compelling product for many to buy. Next up, why product big launches might bomb. When you write code in isolation, you miss learning. You obviously have the option to bundle all of your energy, bundle all of your updates, make significant breakthrough, and then let's say once a year, maybe twice a year, like Airbnb for instance, you deploy all of these updates in one big launch. And that makes it easier for engineers because they can plan ahead. They have certainty of what happens next. Also for marketing, they benefit since it's easier for them to plan the year. Since they know in 6 months we're launching these features, that's where we allocate our budget towards. So everything is streamlined. However, incremental benefits that you can drive to your product every week, every other week by just shaping features as they are completed might be more beneficial if you're trying to learn what users might like or don't like. For instance, if you're working on a car and you're building a completely new engine, when you launch the new engine in 6 months, you only then realize what people like or don't like, if the engine even works or not. Whereas if you would have maybe shipped incremental updates to that engine every 2 weeks, maybe slightly more efficient, slightly better sound, slightly more better transition or fuel efficiency, you would have learned along the way what customers liked. You could have prioritized resources much better. If there were significant errors in your thinking, you could have corrected them. So it's really, for me, it's not a question if one is better or the other. For me, building software products is all about product velocity. So how fast can you build features, and understanding your customer fit. And if both of these are flawless and excellent and amazing, it doesn't really matter if you ship just every 2 weeks or 4 weeks or once every year, because what you ship is meaningful and a lot and creates really good value for your product. However, if you don't really understand what your customers want, or there's maybe uncertainty about product velocity in some of departments, I think incremental launches help you just streamline your processes much faster, in terms of that it creates shorter feedback cycles, so you're able to learn much quicker, see where the problems is, and are able to iterate instead of just waiting until the end of time to then make a correction at the very end. Last one, WordPress open source model is on its way to become an iconic failure. WordPress is one of the biggest players in the website market. 6 out of 10 websites and over 500 million in total are hosted with open source platform WordPress. And so what happens is that Matt Mullenweg, WordPress co-founder, is a critical figure, if you will. He basically accused one of his key competitors, VP Engine, that they're benefiting of the open source products by offering software on top of the open source without contributing to the core, to the open source project. So the irony is that Mullenweg himself owns a company that basically offers the same product and is benefiting big time from the open source contributions from other people. Sure, he's contributing maybe more than others, but still they're the same companies. We all know that open source needs reliable governance. And so the question is, now that they're in conflict, and it's nasty at times, like Mullenweg filed an injunction so that the other company was not able to use WordPress anymore. He's blocked accounts, revoked access of people who criticized him for his behavior. So it's not really a democrat or an embracer of the open source mentality, but rather rules as a dictatorship. And the thing that people like about WordPress is just the simplicity. You can host a blog, a website without needing any code, drag and drop, press and play. Everything just works. It's very simple. So the question is, and this is why I'm referring to timing, now with AI products becoming so incorporated into our everyday lives, and specifically AI coding, and it's really good that you can create websites just using natural prompts, is now really a good time to pick a fight. Because if AI generating websites with AI becomes as easy as WordPress, then there's no need for WordPress at all. And it's just another layer within the software stack that maybe becomes competed away entirely. My advice would be for the WordPress community to end the conflict, focus on a reliable governance structure, and then come out strong prepare for the next technological shift. So that's it for today. Like and subscribe as always.